Coatsy, Colton here. How you doing, man? Clark, we played together in Colorado? Yeah. Hey, man, anyways, me and Geick are running a podcast. What do you think about being our first guest? Oh, no worries, man. We'll get later in the season. Yeah, hey, good hearing from you. Man, we've tried everyone. Who are we going to get?
I've got just the guy.
I've told you 100 times I'm not coming on your podcast.
You're listening to the Stripped Podcast by the Lacrosse Flash, talking all things life and lacrosse with Tyson, Geick, and Colton Clark.
Once again.
Tyson, a couple defenders down low in front for shots, and he scores!
Jones, high seal for ball, down low, scores!
Goes to Logan Schuss instead, who shoots and scores! A Schuss bomb!
Boys, cheers.
Cheers.
That was so sick.
We're live.
Boom.
If you're listening, you should be honored because it's the first ever episode of Stripped. You're one of the first listeners to ever listen to this podcast. Logan Schuss joining us. Took a while, man. We had to really track you down. Kind of famous in these parts, but finally you're here.
Why was that, Logan? Why did it take so long to get you on this show?
Busy guy. It's training camp season, so just kind of been all over the place between work, training camp, and babysitting Mitch Jones. So it's been a wild couple months, but I'm glad to be here and glad to be the first guest.
I'm nervous, man. I'm sinking pints over here real quick. So
we should get the cooler right beside us, I think.
No free brand deals though, so keep your cans turned.
Yeah, this could be you in the next episode sponsoring our podcast.
We also have no sponsors at this point, so we are open to sponsors.
Yeah. So Logan, Cole and I were talking yesterday. In the offseason, a little bit, you dealt with some injury troubles. You packed on a couple pounds.
Yeah.
But you lost them pretty quick. We were talking about intermittent fasting and you shredded those pounds fast.
Well, let's back it up. Okay. Let's back it up a little bit. How much weight did you gain? What was the top weight that you were at?
I was pushing a little bit over 240, so I want to say probably 242. Usually summertime is where I put the extra weight on, like lots of people. But I mean, the beers are always cold. The food's always great in the summertime. So, and, I'm not scared of a beer or a additional hot bag every now and then during the summer. But it all matters about what I look like now. So
for the fans that we currently have, zero, explain what a hot bag is.
A hot bag is any type of fast food. Burgers.
I didn't know this. I like this.
You didn't know what a hot bag is?
No, but I've had my fair share, man.
Yeah. Okay. So a hot bag's any fast food item that is given to you in a drive-through in a bag. Preferably McDonald's, but I don't discriminate against any hot bags.
Okay.
But I'm off the hot bags now. Let's get. I'm on the hot salads.
What are you weighing in at now? You looked like you're in pretty good shape in camp.
My latest weigh-in, I was 216.
216.
That's impressive. So what was your formula to getting back to that game weight, let's call it?
Yeah, Colt, I'm going to butcher the word, intermittent.
Intermittent
fasting. One time I was actually on a date and I had told the girl that I was doing an intermediate fasting. And she looked at me.
You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and I was like, jeez, that's not the right word.
Did you get a second date?
100%.
Oh, no. Nobody's business.
But that was a bit of a joke. But, did that. Colt kind of turned me on to it. And then, just hard on the salads and hard on, sticking to it. It's a bit of a grind. And obviously it's tough when none of your friends are really back home or training or kind of getting in shape for anything, so they always kind of entice you with some wing night or the old casual beer here and there. But stuck to it for the last couple months, and it's really paid off, and I'm feeling like the best shape I've ever been in going into camp.
Yeah, I saw you in the locker room. You almost had a six-pack, eh?
Well, depending on the lighting, the angle.
We got the good lights here. So
You want to show?
If I haven't eaten in a couple hours,
show the crowd.
show the crowd.
no, I just
Keep it PG. We said we keep it PG for them.
yeah, no, maybe next time. But feeling great and looking great. Thanks, Colt.
I mean, I can't take all the credit for it.
Let
You
me
gotta put in the hard work, right?
Let me talk here. So we're obviously trying to do something a little bit different here with Stripped and kind of tap into something that hasn't necessarily been done in lacrosse. And in my experience, having worked with the National Lacrosse League for a couple of seasons and then another 0.5, if you want to call it that, last year, the league, yeah, we'll get into that in another episode. So I think the league kind of lacks a personality, but you're one of the guys who's identified that the league needs personality, and you keep up that personality on social media, be it Instagram, Twitter. Like you're always posting stuff, you're interacting. So why is it important to you to do that, and like where did that kind of come from?
Yeah, I think you're seeing it more and more across all professional leagues. I think it's big for fan interaction and just kind of it gets the league out there. It kind of gets the name of the sport out there and creates a little bit of a character. Not all players are just like robots, and everyone has a kind of a different story. And some guys have jobs, some guys just do lacrosse full time, some guys got kids and a family, and different struggles throughout their work week or some fun things that happen. So I think it's pretty cool. I don't like to put everything out there. I like to kind of pick and choose. Some days
throw a good filter on an Instagram page.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah,
Valencia, what up?
and chirp guys who do put filters on their pictures.
Yeah,
guilty. Okay, I got.
But
I recall a chirp towards us.
Oh yeah,
Tyson. Yeah.
No, yeah, I deserve it.
Yeah. So I mean, there's definitely weeks that go by I don't really post too much, and then I kind of get a little excited. Got some good content, so I get it out there. Any chance I can get a picture of the puppy or a baby or my grandma. It's great content, so that's getting up there pretty fast.
What's the purpose of your posts? Would it say to grow the game, or is it to just to
grow Logan Schuss,
or is it to grow Logan Schuss, or to get girls? Because sometimes when you're posting a lot of pictures of your granny, it seems like you're trying to pull on the heartstrings a little bit.
I think it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Honestly, like whenever I post about my family or my little niece and nephews, granny and stuff, like I honestly just love them. And I think they're great. I think they're all awesome.
Saying the right things.
Honestly, though.
Oh, man.
Like, where's my phone? Like, my backdrop.
Show the crowd. What do you got?
The backdrop of my phone here is of my...
Oh, that's
of
sweet.
The kids and stuff. I just didn't put this on the way up here. This is about a year old, so
DM's gonna be exploding after this.
Yeah, on the way up the elevator was the cutest picture of my niece and nephews. No, but like a lot of my posts are just I like to kind of entertain, and any chance I get to put something funny out there or something meaningful, I think it's all relevant.
So staying with this, you saw the PLL and you see a lot of the American guys kind of buying into this, right? Like they get it. They get posting this stuff is important. They're interacting with the camera. They're really rolling with it and just owning it. And then a lot of the Canadian guys are like, no, that's stupid. I don't like it. So what would you maybe say to them, or how do you think you can get them on board here?
Yeah, I think you just can't go outside your boundary. Like, be yourself. Like, for me personally, like I like to be kind of a jokester and put myself out there. Like, I don't... I'm not scared to post something that's maybe going to be controversial where somebody will chirp me or make fun of me. Because I'll dish it out and I can also take it. So I think maybe guys are just staying within their comfort zone. So if they don't feel comfortable posting stuff, and it's nothing against them, they can pick and choose what they want to post and stuff. I think guys are more reserved, and guys have careers and families and stuff that they like to kind of keep to themselves. But I think in the next couple of years, especially with this kind of young group of players coming into the league, I think there's going to be more and more personality showing, and I think it's great. I think it's honestly kind of gets the league out there, like I said, and I think the PLL did a great job of creating that content, and you see them all over Barstool Sports and other media avenues and stuff, and I think it's great for the game.
It's been a question, obviously, for many years, like making lacrosse a living. Do you think that it's in the near future?
I think it is. I think it's. I know there's a few guys that can do it, and it's not easy. It's not just, hey, I'm a lacrosse player. It's doing the little things of going to traveling around coaching teams and putting on clinics and getting to the areas of the world that aren't really known for lacrosse. Like I see a lot of guys in the PLL traveling all sorts of different spots in the North America and kind of reaching out to those smaller niches that aren't really big lacrosse hotbeds. So I think if we can keep attacking those areas and creating it like a worldwide sport, then that's where it's going to start making the money.
Commissioner Nick Skevich saying that he feels that teams are going to be making 8 figures here. A piece of little info, not a big deal. Teddy Jenner breaking that. But,
wow.
Yeah.
What's up, Teddy?
So you currently, though, you're not just making a living off lacrosse. You got a job outside of lacrosse.
I do.
And what is that job?
So I'm a dispatcher at Global Container Terminals in Deltaport. So
I advertised for them on the radio.
Actually, I did hear that. Yeah. I'm a dispatcher for longshoremen, so I do that on my regular 9 to 5, and then between that and, I mean, I got a pretty busy life between making time for working out.
Girls.
Yeah, if I can ever.
You make a lot of money too, right?
I make a decent amount of money. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
But
you're getting your tires pumped here today.
Yeah, I mean, it's so pumped.
Also drives a really nice truck.
But no, like my daily kind of routine is basically I can get up for work around 5:30, 6 a.m., go put in 10 hours down at the docks, and then, get to a workout and or practice. And then between all that, just trying to eat healthy and trying to do film and have time for family and friends. Like it's a grind. So if I make time for you, I appreciate it.
There's no Warriors fans that can be like slagging on you here. I'm impressed.
Okay, we got a couple of questions here. Obviously,
okay.
We came a little bit prepared just for moments like this when we stare at each other.
Hey man, I'm like locked and loaded. I got a lot of
we're good over here.
You got questions? I got a deeper question for you, deeper than work. We can get back to whatever else after this, but do you see yourself doing anything else other than working at Deltaport? Do you dream of anything else? What was your dream job growing up besides lacrosse?
That's
if you could do anything else.
I like it.
I love cooking.
Cooking?
Not like just everything involves food, eating it, cooking it, watching it on TV, the additional hot bags.
In the 240.
But to be honest, it's, no, it's funny because I actually had a family friend visiting from Prince George this past weekend at my parents' place, and I used to make cookbooks when I was a kid.
All right.
So I still watch the Cooking Network at home. I'd flick that on rather than watching like football game or anything. It's crazy. I just love the cooking shows.
This is like, I'm noting this for Warriors content this season, man. We're producing this. We're going in the kitchen with Logan Schuss.
Yeah, like Beat Bobby Flay, Chopped, guys grocery games.
So let's get this straight. You're a professional athlete. You make bags. You're a good cook. You're a good looking dude.
Thank you. Don't forget the tattoos.
Yeah, he's got a few tattoos if that's your forte.
I'm pretty much the greatest guy. Like overall, find a better guy.
Oh wait.
Speaking of, are you single?
I'm very single.
You're very single. I mean, Tyson and I were talking a little bit before this. You have a few dating apps on your phone. I've seen your phone before.
Yeah, and last time you were here, you brought up the fact that you're on this new what do you call it? Like celebrity dating app?
Yeah, that's what it's been called. It's called Raya or Raya.
Yeah.
Don't even know what it's called, but.
And how'd you get on this?
Through a friend. One of my girlfriends was on there, and the only way you can get on there is if you get a friend pass given to you from somebody on the site, and then you have to get approved. So,
buddy,
thankfully,
if I was single, I'd be hitting you up for that friend pass.
Thankfully, I have a lot of Instagram followers due to kids that are 12 to 15 following me for free lacrosse gear.
Do your granny pose?
Yeah. So I'd say the dating sites are all filled with pictures of myself, my granny, and.
Okay, so we were talking a while back, and I get like razzed on for this all the time. The whole tarps off thing. I got a couple tarps off pics on my Instagram, but I don't know why I came across your profile and per post or you got more tarps off pics than I do. So
yeah, I mean it's all about like I said, the angle and also the types of pictures. I mean, I'm not going full body shirt off. Like, I mean, one of my pictures I have a big salmon covering my gut.
Oh, so you got the fishing pic on there.
I got the fishing pic on there. All Anything above the waist is fair game for me. I mean, if it's a shirtless pic in the summertime, I'm not afraid to post it. I'm not ashamed of my body. I'll rock it. If I'm 240 or if I'm 215.
Dude, he just owns it.
Just own it.
How'd you get the blue check mark?
I begged.
Because I know Jonesy was, you're pretty upset for a while there. You had more followers than Jonesy, and he had a blue check mark.
Yeah,
a little bit of jealousy going on.
Yeah, I mean, Jonesy has some good content. He's obviously a great looking guy, so he deserves the blue check mark. But I mean, I just post way better stuff than Mitch, so I was like, "Where's my blue check?" Eventually, I had to beg the NLL to.
Was it the NLL that you went to?
Oh yeah, I went to the head person in the NLL, so
man,
got the blue check mark and never looked back.
Steph McGinley couldn't pull that one off for me. I've asked. I've inquired about that one before.
It's that easy, eh?
Yeah. Colt, don't even try it.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, let me ask you this. We were talking about this kind of off the pod, but do you feel like maybe that there's a bit of a sensitivity issue in lacrosse? Like it's interesting, right? Because we cross paths and you guys are professional athletes, but we see each other and we'll see each other at the arena and whatever and chat. And if I say something as a analyst or a reporter or whatever, I have to like awkwardly walk by you and be like, you're not pulling your fucking weight online. And then we have this like weird encounter. Do you think the players need to like, I don't know, could just be like, they're just kind of doing their job? Or do you think that you're holding the analyst or reporter kind of accountable?
Yeah, lacrosse is tough. It's just tough because, like yourself, like all the players personally outside the game, and so do a lot of the reporters. I mean, it's such a small lacrosse is such a small sport. Like everyone knows everyone. Yeah. So it does get a little hairy where these reporters need to keep it 100, and they got to report on the small things that people don't want to hear.
Well, it's reporting on the small things, but I think then you're seeing some bias as well, and it's just like as someone who's reading on, who knows the stuff behind the scenes, I see right through it.
Yeah, the players, like, we're not stupid. Like, everyone knows kind of who's got favorites and maybe East or West or whatever it is. But I think at the end of the day, like, us as the players, we got to realize, like, if we want to be one of the big 4 or 5 professional leagues, then you got to have a tough skin. So you're going to hear some things that you don't want to hear. You're going to get some rankings that you don't like to see, or get some backlash for the way you play, or some results. But I think that just goes to show like who's a good team and who's a good player, letting that kind of stuff roll off your back and stay focused at the task at hand. Like you can't please everyone. Yeah. So I think it's a thing where the players we gotta have a little bit more tougher skin. I mean, obviously I see things online that I'm not happy about, but I kind of try to use that as fuel, as cliche as that is. Yeah. But I think for the sport to continue to grow and stuff, there's obviously going to be reporters that maybe don't know as much about lacrosse or kind of give some bad critiques here and there. But like I said, you just kind of roll with it.
I think that's kind of like what comes with the territory, right? When the sport's growing, there just aren't a lot of people that have been covering the game, and there's a lot of people entering it now that are putting in the work and the time, but they're not as seasoned as what you'd maybe get in the NHL. Like everyone's jumping at the bit to do it, whereas lacrosse, it's like, hey, we need some coverage here.
Oh, no, I was just clearing my throat. I got nothing to say. I honestly didn't even hear the question you asked, so I got nothing to say on it.
Yeah, and I know, I think especially with all these new teams coming in, especially in the States, that box lacrosse isn't huge down there. Right. Like you said, everyone's trying to maybe hop in and do their part. And it's all more the merrier. I think the more exposure we can get and the more people that want to be involved that are coming from different avenues and different pro leagues that want to have a little take in lacrosse, I think it's great.
Mm-hmm. Let's take it back a little bit. We've been talking about lacrosse, and where did you start? When did you start playing lacrosse? Give us a little background on Logan Schuss and his lacrosse career. Just take us on a little quick journey.
So it all started, I'd say as soon as I was born, I had a stick. I still got the stick at home. It's just a little mini wooden stick as a kid. But my dad played for probably 30, 40 years himself, and he, as soon as I was born, I was born into a lacrosse family. And I have an older brother, Colton, who's 2 years older, that once he started playing lacrosse when you're 5, that's like kind of the starting age. My dad was his coach, and I was a bit of a big 3-year-old, so he decided, Logan's allowed to play too. So
on the hot bags early.
Yeah, definitely on the hot bags, not scared of a meal.
You live right around the corner from McDonald's, don't you?
Pretty close enough. Let me talk about that. Wasn't scared of a Big Mac as a kid, but wasn't no Happy Meals.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was actually played goalie to start my career. I played goalie all the way up until like second year Pee Wee. And so actually it was first year, I believe it was first year Bantam that I stopped playing goalie. And I actually had to play 3 years of Bantam lacrosse because my parents kind of doctored up my birth certificate so I could play when I was younger.
Okay.
So like I was playing up. Like essentially like I wanted to play Team BC for Bantam at the time. It was the very first year. And they're like, well, Logan, you're going to be a midget. And I'm like, well, no, I'm the same age as all these kids. Like I got to stay in Bantam. So I played 3 years of Bantam lacrosse.
Oh.
Because they just let me play up because I was such a little beast back in the day. No. So I played 3 years of Bantam lacrosse. I started playing out as a player.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a little bit more common to see in lacrosse, right? Like guys playing up. And,
yeah, totally.
And jumping those age gaps. And
yeah, and I was like, I grew up with my brother, so I was always hanging around them and playing. Like I did that in football. I did it in soccer. Like every sport, I was playing like up a level.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of took me to the next level for all my sports. That kind of pushed me, right?
Yeah.
So after Bantam lacrosse, played Team BC and stuff, but then I never really played field lacrosse growing up. I played a little bit, but I chose football over field lacrosse as a kid.
Yep.
There's times where I started playing football again back when I was like 15, and I can remember it would be Sundays, it's football and field lacrosse in BC, so it'd be in the morning time, I'd play a football game, and then I'd go and like play my brother's football game, and then my mom and dad would drive me to my lacrosse game, and then I'd go and play my brother's lacrosse game. So I was playing 2 football games and 2 field lacrosse games in a day.
And big Seahawks fan, been one for years?
Oh, I mean...
It's just huge.
That time we won the Super Bowl, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago? It's just a long time coming.
But I feel like I'm really not a football guy, but I feel like I've seen a couple Seahawks wins in my years.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to 2 Seahawks games this year, not a big deal, and 50-yard line lower bowl, so it was good. Went to Cleveland Browns game as well, so I'm a bit of a sports guy.
Yeah.
Any team that's winning is a fan. I'm a fan of. So I got a bunch of different jerseys, so I'm not scared to root for the winning team.
OSU, what was it like there? I'm sure you got at least one crazy story for us from your time partying in Ohio State University.
Yeah, I mean...
Were you like a rock star on campus at all?
Yeah, you leading scorer, all-time leading scorer, something like that?
Yeah, goal scorer. I was all-time, finished my career all-time leading goal scorer. It's funny, though, like, coming from Ladner, small town, like, just shy, like, probably just around 25,000 people, and then going to a school that has north of 70,000 students, like, it's a bit of an eye-opener. So, going to, like, a big school like that, I was kind of nervous and left home, and, it's funny, usually... like your parents would drop you off at college. Like Colton, did your parents take you down to college and stuff? They showed were they at least gone to campus before you went there?
My dad came with me on my recruiting trip, but my freshman year when I flew in, me and Mitch McLaren, I believe, flew in together, and we got in at like 2 a.m. And our assistant coach he didn't pick us up. I think we got a cab to the campus, and then he met us on campus.
Nice. So I did like the equivalent of, I don't know what you'd maybe like consider the ECHL of the college route. I did like about 8 different schools, but they were all like dog shit D3.
Oh man!
Shout out Merciers.
No, landed on Merciers, which is like obviously
school, yeah.
They went to the national championship. My senior year, transferred. They won the championship my senior year.
Well, now we know what the problem was.
The problem, I wasn't fucking touching the field.
Left, right out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like my time down there was unbelievable. Like I remember going, getting down, like when I was talking about the parents, like it was expensive to fly across country. And I mean, so my parents didn't come until I think my sophomore year.
Yeah.
Like not even, they said, okay, have fun. Like,
yeah,
that was mine too.
Go to school.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of great support cast down there. Like the coaches and like all the people on the team were just great, and had a lot.
Who were the Canadian boys that you played with down there? Brock?
Yeah, Brock Sorensen was down there. Yeah, Mike Pyers, huge beauty. So Mike was my like official visit. Like he would take me around, and he he was the first guy to take me to Chipotle, and so I pretty much signed my letter of intent to go to Ohio State after I had Chipotle.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the 50-yard line football tickets and like how big the school is and like the atmosphere. It was just like, wow, they have a Chipotle here.
Okay,
you went and leaned to college too. I've seen a couple pictures.
Here's a funny story. So I show up to university, and keep in mind this is like 2009. So I show up and, you know, all the freshmen are kind of gathering out. It's the first day. And so we all decide, hey, let's go to the facility and like shoot around a little bit. And so I'm like kind of taking along my roommate, Trey Wilkes. He's from Baltimore, Maryland. So I show up to the Ohio State University. This is my outfit, my first day outfit. You know, all jazzed up for first day of university. I have all black Nike Shocks on. I
forgot about those.
I have G-Unit.
Straight out of Ladner.
G-Unit jean shorts. They're like shiny jean shorts.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing a Volcom skateboarding shirt with like two big silver chains.
Do you have a picture of that we could like?
I could find it. Yeah, you can dig? But I'm talking to like all my my classmates and like all the upperclassmen, like who is this kid?
So how long did it take for you to like kind of adjust? And man, my fashion sense was god awful back then.
Oh, mine was terrible too. And like I'd be looking at all my buddies, and they're all wearing like Ralph Lauren and khakis and like nice clothes and some
driving BMWs.
Some like Sperry like shoes and stuff, and I'm showing up wearing like
you would have fit in real well at Mercyhurst. Like that's like the Mercyhurst attire. Be like, oh, he belongs here. Like that's the gear.
You slowly start to adapt the American culture. You start dressing. Dressing like
call my mom right away. I'm like, well, to boot, like we go and we're shooting around the field, and every single kid is picking corners 100 miles an hour. Like I literally am standing there like shaking in my Nike Shocks, being like, I look like shit. I'm not gonna play. I'm 3,000 miles away from home. Now, I have no bedding on my dorm bed because we shipped it from Vancouver. I didn't think I could
buy the package
I didn't think I could go to Walmart on my own and buy bedding. So I ended up shipping all my clothing and stuff and like bedding to my dorm, and it took like 3 weeks to get there. So I was like sleeping on like a towel, like my roommate's towel. Like it was. I guarantee my roommate to this day, he's one of my best friends still, but he's just like, what am I getting myself into with this kid? It was pretty funny.
That's jokes.
I don't think I ever lost a bell on my.
I don't think you touched on the crazy party part. But you kind of skipped over that.
Well, he had a good story for us.
Yeah, it was a great story.
It was a great story. It looked like a joke.
Didn't answer the question.
I mean, obviously it's a huge school. It's a big party school. There's lots of stuff to get into. I just think like going to parties and stuff, like you go to a party here in Vancouver, or you go to somewhere, like everyone brings like kind of their own drinks or their own beer and they're kind of doing their own thing. But it's like the beer and stuff's so cheap down there. Like you just, everyone just says, okay, put $10 in. And then you got like 20, 30 guys that put $10 and then you're getting like 50 cases of beer. Like it's just crazy.
So you had the cases of beer. I'm sure you went to like keggers all the time. You had like the jungle juice parties where people are just putting their hands in those gross buckets. And
there's a lot of
what's in it.
Yeah, I stayed clear of that jungle juice. Just the thought of
awful.
Buddy, I still remember the first day we showed up to college, and I had no idea how much booze was, and we showed up to the liquor store, Mitch McLaren and I. And we looked at the 60-pounders on the bottom shelf, and they were like $8.99, and we thought it was like a mistake. Like we legit thought it was a mistake.
We got a deal.
And I actually have a picture of this, like of our fridge, our freshman year. Like obviously our campus was dry, but we just like stuffed. We bought as much as booze as we possibly could because we legitimately thought that there was a mistake on the booze prices.
Yeah.
And we just stuffed our fridge full, but it was just like insane. For what you could buy for $50 here, you can barely buy a 24-pack.
Yeah, and like you just go to a liquor store, like you said, and like I was like trying to explain to like some of my friends, like a case of beer is like $40-$50 here, and they're $9.99.
And back then there was also no hangovers, so you could afford to drink a full case of beer and then wake up and feel fine and practice no problem.
Honestly, I've heard this is only my school, but we didn't drink before practice and/or games.
It was like 48-hour rule.
It's just a rule. Like you just don't do it. Like
we're the same too.
We didn't mess around with that at all. Like you don't drink before practice. Like you don't drink.
No, I don't mean like right before you're going on the turf.
No, I'm saying
talking like the night.
We didn't
the night before.
Not even night before. Not once in my college career.
Really?
No.
I'm impressed. Well, maybe that's why I missed out on a national championship. No, I'm kidding. But I had one night, man.
Yeah, me too.
First night ever drinking 151. I don't even think we have it here. Like it's like the proof is like so high. It's awful. Had like 8 shots of it.
Start a tractor with it.
Oh, the first time I ever blacked out, I think. And we got up in the morning. We practiced like no problem. It was perfectly fine. Now, I would be a corpse.
Yeah.
While we're on the topic of alcohol, we may as well touch on the topic of drugs. And the reason I bring this up with you, drugs, they happen in every single professional sport. They happen in every walk of the life. Like everybody tries them growing up. I've obviously tried them in my lifetime, but you were one of the few people that I've heard that have never tried any drug. And I just, that is amazing to me, but why is that? Why do you find that you've never tried any
I'm just a straight shooter. I think it's maybe a bit of a worry wart.
Worry wart? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell that's not for me. And, it's nothing I've kind of wanted to even explore. Yeah. I think I get naturally just amped up and have fun and kind of I'm outgoing enough that I don't need to kind of do anything extra to get myself going. So I'm pretty au naturel. A couple beers, couple nudes, and I'm on my way.
Being in it, obviously, like you've seen it, you've been around it. Like what's the feeling like there when you are kind of in that atmosphere? Like I'm sure no one's pressuring you to do it.
Yeah, no, none of my
expect not to, but
and everyone that knows me knows I'm not into that stuff. So it's kind of like doesn't even come up, and I don't put myself in situations like that. So it's
you don't see a bathroom with 10 guys that didn't say, "Hey, that looks like a place for
dude."
Logan.
we are setting Logan Schuss up here to be the next fucking Bachelor. Like check. Yeah. I think if there's any girls listening to the first ever Strip podcast, this guy's gonna be like handing out 20 fucking roses in January once the Bachelor rolls around. I don't know
that could be my next.
The cast of When the Guy's kind of a plug, but I think you can kind of slide in there and take over for him.
Yeah, I think definitely checking some boxes here, but like I said, I'm just a great guy.
Tyson, what else you got?
Let's talk about the switch from the Langley Stealth to the Vancouver Warriors. So you're playing. We'll start with making the postseason that one year, right? You guys go. You lost a close one to Colorado in the first round, but you had an impressive season. You guys were kind of clicking. Things were working. Ty Belanger had quite the year.
Yeah.
There was a lot of great storylines coming from it. Corey Small had a career year. And then there was that drop off the next year. Like the wheels just fell off. You guys looked like you'd be in a great position to maybe repeat, get back in the postseason. But what happened in the offseason leading into that next year where you guys were like a 2 and 16. I'm not a big math guy. 2 and 16. Yeah, that's it. So 2 and 16 team. You got smoked by Toronto. We'll get to that in a second because we dealt with a little history there. What was the drop off? Like what was the big change?
Honestly, like it still stumps me to this day. Like it was one of those seasons where, you did everything right off the floor. You did everything to prepare yourselves and practice plans, and we'd practice the night before games, and then we'd say, okay, well, we need to be rested, so we practice midweek, and then we'd watch film. We wouldn't watch film. We'd strategize. We wouldn't do this. Like we literally tried everything possible, and it was just one of those things where it's just like, wow, like nothing's going our way. Like we're not getting any bounces. We're not, connecting on certain shots and passes. And we had a great team. We had like an unbelievable front door, and we had some great defenders and the goalie that was playing lights out the year before. But it's one of those things that just nothing went our way, and it was frustrating at times, and it was upsetting because we weren't getting the support off the floor. But I mean, we didn't really earn it. And, it's tough going around town or even just kind of being in the lacrosse world and people like putting your team down and stuff. And I've, even to like this day, like I've been on teams that have been bad teams. I've been on teams that are great teams. And like, I will never slag my team to anyone. I'll never slag management or players or, anyone. We're all in this together.
Big team guy.
Yeah. I'm the type of person, like, I'm not going to slag somebody because, you know, especially like, if like one of my teammates missed a pass or didn't score on a goal, like, I'll say, hey, next, I'm going to still feed you that ball. I'm going to still get you that ball. But, you know, if I chirp him right now, then I know next shift I'm going to go out and I'm going to drop the pass. Or I'm not going to bury. So I'm pretty positive. I like to keep it up and you know, everyone having a good time.
Looked me off so many times.
Yeah. Have you seen yourself? You look yourself off in the mirror, bud.
So
I'm just kidding.
What was it like going into that atmosphere? You know, you didn't really have that fan support. I mean, you know, people were starting to come to the games in Langley a little bit. You tried to do that blackout thing for the postseason, but it just wasn't there. Like, it was clear that professional lacrosse was not going to succeed in Langley. So
you couldn't give tickets away.
No, and but it felt shitty to watch, man. Like, I just didn't enjoy watching the games from Langley because it felt
like pretty deflating.
Yeah,
right. So,
there was some kind of aura about it, and it's different. I mean, you know, I think the Warriors are truly going to start to build, and I'm not just saying that because I'm working with the team this season, but I think they're really going to start to build, and you're going to see more people. But it just feels better when you see a game in Rogers Arena. So you know, what was that feeling like walking through the doors of Langley? Did it feel a little like cheap to you?
Yeah, you could say that. It was like, it kind of, because it's when you play in like the summer leagues and stuff, and like, or like say we have a game and then like 2 hours before the game, like there's like a 10-year-old kids game going on, the kind of like the same floor. Like, it didn't really seem like it was like the big leagues. Right. And so like you'd go to a game in Langley and, you know, you didn't have like, mind you, like Langley event staff, like all the people working there. And
awesome people.
Unbelievable people, unbelievable staff, like a great arena, but it just didn't scream like professional. And I think when people want to go and pay quality money and their hard-earned money to go to a sporting event or pro, that be it, like they want to like be walking through doors of Rogers Arena. Like I still get like excited, like generally excited walking into like go to a Canucks game.
Oh yeah.
And like I've been to like, I go to like 20 games a year, but like every time
special about walking through those
you
doors.
walk into those doors and you see the excitement on everyone's face. Like it's packed and you got the vendors and you got the music blaring, just the big arena feel. Like it's unbelievable. And so if I get that feeling like just by watching a sporting event, you know, imagine what it feels like to like be playing at like a big arena like that. And that's what you get all over the NLL. And that's why big teams like in Calgary and Colorado and Toronto and Buffalo, like they play in the big barns and they got the big crowds and it's amazing.
Colorado is a fucking treat. I love that spot. And Buffalo too, I should say. I haven't seen a game in Calgary yet.
Unbelievable. Like so many great fans in all those cities, passionate fans that have been there for a very long time.
Yeah.
And you know, they support their team just like the city of Vancouver supports the Canucks, and you know, Edmonton Oilers fans support Edmonton. Like there's some diehard fans across the NLL. And
so, what do you think that the Vancouver Warriors and Canucks Sports and Entertainment needs to do to get to the Warriors to that point?
I think honestly, it comes down to building a winning team, which I think our GM Dan Richardson and the rest of the Canucks and Sports Entertainment have done so far this year. Just building a team that the city can be proud of, and that know when we go out there every given night that we're gonna, you know, put it all on the line to get those wins. And I think last year we had a couple big wins. I scored the overtime winner in the game, not a big deal. And like honestly, that was one of my most exciting goals I ever scored. Like my celebration was brutal. I was just
I'm like replaying it in my head. I mean, I've seen it. I was
just like over the top excited to finally get that win.
It was sick, and like the stanchions going up and lighting up.
I remember watching it from the bar and sinking back a pint and being like, "That a boy, Logan."
That was that was sick, man.
I did it, and like I just like screamed, I cheered, and like teammates like congratulate you and stuff. And I remember looking up into like the crowd, like where my parents and my family were, and you know. It was like just a special moment, and just like to see that many people, like it's pretty damn cool to see people like jumping out of their seats, like hugging each other, cheering, like we just won a goddamn championship. But it was like our first home win ever at Rogers Arena, and it was definitely a memorable one.
Vancouver's done a great job too at marketing you guys pretty well the same way as the Canucks, right? Like you go downtown and you look at the side of the building and they have all your guys' banners right up beside all the Canucks. So I think that helps play too, right?
Yeah, I think it's like it's a branding thing, right? Like you need that logo and that brand recognition, and to be taken seriously, get them up on the board. Don't hide this. I think, Vancouver, you're right. Vancouver's done a solid job. And from what I'm seeing from a production standpoint, they're not cutting corners. Like, they're treating the Warriors like they treat the Canucks in terms of production. And that's pretty cool to see. Yeah.
And just like you said, I think, fans seeing our logo and our players up next to professional hockey players in the arena and along the scoreboard and just advertising, like, people are like, oh, like, these guys are legit. Like, this isn't just like a kind of a bush league. Like, this is the NLL, like, Professional Lacrosse League. So, and I think, like, other teams in the league, like Buffalo Bandits, do a great job with some of their players, getting them in and around, like, the other big sports teams around that city. So I think linking up.
Like what you did with the Canucks, that was awesome.
So, like, linking up the two different teams and the different kind of sports with each other, I think is great. And to kind of play off, lacrosse is a very hard sport to play. Like, not many people can just pick up a lacrosse stick that they've never played the game before and be able to, do it just like a rookie level, like not even pass back and forth. Like, you give a kid like a hockey stick and he can slap it around. Like, it's more of like a kind of a hidden sport. Like, I think hockey and some of these other sports are like, the pros at that level are just insane. Yeah. And I think it's like, those are more mainstream sports that kids are going to be able to play growing up that aren't so, secluded a bit. Lacrosse is a little bit harder. You got to have, specific sticks and stuff like that kids don't have the access to. So I think getting it out there now, and I can even say I got some friends from work and stuff that I gave his kid his first stick. Yeah. And he's showing me videos of his kid watching like my highlights on YouTube and doing this stuff. He's never seen lacrosse before in his life, and he's cradling and shooting on a net just by watching it on YouTube. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. And, to get that out there for Vancouver fans, I think it's going to be pretty big.
Speaking of Vancouver fans, this might be a good time. Logan was so kind to bring us a giveaway gift.
That's right.
And there's, some requirements for you for this gift. I'll grab it here if you want to show the crowd. So we got a Vancouver Warriors jersey and a hat, and Logan will sign both those, correct?
I will sign both these.
We need that like silver Sharpie to make it.
We'll get silver Sharpie on that. We'll get it signed up.
Okay.
And what are the stipulations?
So Colt, you're going to be strip marketing director.
So in order to win, in order to win these two, we got a hat here and a jersey. You're going to have to follow Stripped on Instagram. The link will be in the bio. We're going to post a picture of Logan on our Instagram, the Strip Podcast.
You pick the filter.
You also have to follow Logan Schuss.
Thank you.
And if you'd be so kind to follow Tyson.
I mean, at Tyson LW, if you want to toss
throw out at Tyson LW to build this following.
Right.
Me, if you find time, then go for it. Yeah. That'd be great.
What is yours? I am Colton Clark.
It's I'm. It's not I am. It's I'm. I don't know why I'm an OCD guy.
I'm a Daryl.com.
What?
It's I'm
a Daryl.
It's I'm Colton Clark.
Okay.
I think.
Hi, I'm Logan.
It should be I am.
Nice to meet you.
What's that?
I am.
I think it is, man. I
am.
Mine on mine?
Yeah, anyways.
I don't think it is it?
It's I am. I don't know. I know that better than you do. Anyways, let's move on. So we're giving these items away. So follow Stripped, follow Logan Schuss. The bonus if you want to follow us.
Logan Schuss 18.
There you
Logan
go.
Schuss 18.
And it'll be in the bottom of the video here. So tag two buddies and you could have your hands on some sexy material.
Also subscribe to us, man.
Yeah, that's the thing about this. I mean, we got so many different platforms. Hopefully, we're getting this up on Spotify so you can be listening in the car. But if we're not quite at that level yet, give us a sub on the old YouTube, and you got somewhere to be.
My phone's just ringing. It's probably one of my many girlfriends.
One of your Raya messages.
A match. Cool. You got anything else?
I think that's it, man.
Okay, Grandma, hold on.
Oh, fuck.
Well, Logan, it was a pleasure.
That's
it?
Buddy,
what do you got for us,
We're 42 minutes in.
Damn. What time flies with the boys.
You got any questions? Fine. You got any questions for us?
You know what we should do? Like, this idea is just coming to me right now, but maybe like you throw out, and we gotta be like location sensitive here, but you throw out like a request. Like, who would you like to see on the pod? Maybe give us like 3 names and we can track some people down.
I like that.
I like it. I think obviously Mitch Jones is a big one.
Yeah.
He's definitely.
He's got a face.
We got to mix it up.
Face.
He's got a bit of face. Yeah, you can't just have all the biggest beauties on there. Yeah, it'd be nice to see some players, like different players throughout the league that aren't really on like the Warriors and stuff, get a kind of different perspective. Like maybe a guy like Robert Church.
Yeah.
He'd probably hop on here and. Other than that, I think
Churchy's got some good takes. I think CDB's coming up there with the hot takes on Twitter and stuff.
Oh, Delbs, yeah.
What about outside lacrosse? We want to diversify the platform as well. We don't want to do just lacrosse players as much as we love lacrosse. If you gave us a couple of lacrosse,
and we're introducing new fans to the sport too. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe checking out like I know. Keegan Ball has some connection with Lamar off of the BC Lions.
Okay.
And he's a stud. And maybe he is I think he just signed another big contract. So get him out kind of gives a different perspective. Like, kind of fun. I know it's another team that's kind of, pushing for wins this year and for their season and stuff. So kind of get a different perspective of like the Vancouver Pro Sports League scene kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I think that's,
right on.
You got anything for us?
Yeah. Sorry.
You got any requests? Anything that you want to see? Like, I'm sure you're going to be a recurring guest.
I think like kind of. Yeah, I think kind of just like kind of get the backstory between guys. Like, don't just always talk about lacrosse and like I liked how you guys kind of brought in like some of my family stuff and some of the outside part of the game.
Well, because we're setting you up to be the next Bachelor, so of course
that's totally
that. Yeah.
Colt promised me. I mean, yeah, great. You got me a fan. Thanks, man. But I don't know how to play a guitar yet. And I bought one. I was all gung ho. I bought one. Got a case. Got the picks.
Well, that's the best part. Neither do we.
Yeah. Colt's like, all you gotta do is just grab it and he's starting to play these songs and it's a joke. My one finger's broken. It doesn't even bend. So he's telling me to hit these chords and I don't even know how to hold the guitar.
No, this is all for fucking show.
Muscle memory. I can play.
I can sing though.
Oh yeah,
I can't sing.
Tyson, what do you think?
I know Tyson sing, but
yeah. I mean,
so maybe a karaoke segment.
Yeah, should we save that for the next one?
I'll be back on. I'll have some content. I'll be able to get some lyrics down, Pat.
We want stories from the road, and if you got any videos, like just be shooting. Make sure it's horizontal. Shoot on your phone and bring it back for the pod.
Some videos, okay.
One last thing. The hit on Carson Leung, Alex Book. What do you think?
Oh, that one's.
It's an age-old controversy. I just want to get your thoughts.
Okay, so this is setting up Curtis Dixon for the pod next episode for sure.
I just think the players got to take care of the players in the league.
Okay.
So I think there's a bit of a respect. Like, if I see a guy coming with his head down and I could absolutely blow him up, like, there is a thought. Maybe I'm just a good guy.
Yeah. Bachelor.
Yeah. I'm not going out, like, at no point are you going out to hurt somebody. And I think 99% of the guys in this league think that way.
Yeah.
I don't think Book had any intention in the world to hurt Carson like that. Right. I think it's you're a competitor and you're competing in the league and things happen, right? So obviously it was terrible and it was tough to see, but I think there's a genuine consensus in this league that the players will take care of the players. It's an unwritten rule. Like, you take care of each other.
So this is opening up a whole other can of worms. I mean, the entertainment aspect, like that was, you go on that YouTube clip and fuck, that's viewed, man. That's like entertainment. And I don't like the fact that this ended a player's career. Like, I'm not, in favor of like ending careers for views. It's not what I'm here for. It's not what I'm about. However, like, if you got a chance to light someone up, I don't think he.
If especially in the WLA, if I ever saw Colton Clark like kind of crossing the middle, like I'm jumping the bench and I'm looking for him.
I mean, if you want to run into a brick wall, go for it, but I don't recommend it. Right? Like,
but yeah, like I said, I think everyone in the league is kind of looking out for each other, and yes, like big hits and fights, and guys getting hit pretty hard, like definitely create some clicks and create some exposure and stuff, but. I think as the players, everyone's got another job to go through in the league, and you definitely understand that. You can see in like the NLL, it's like such a bigger respect level, with guys and like.
Well, because everyone's played with everyone, or there's like one degree of separation from someone, right?
Totally.
Boom! I guess that does it. Cheers! Cheers it out.
Thanks for listening to the Strip Podcast. Catch a new episode every Wednesday. We're giving away prizes every week. Follow along with our social channels at Lacrosse Flash.